Hello, my name is Ashley Kirkwood with the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast. I also run a company alongside my amazing husband called Speak Your Way to Cash. And what we do is we help speakers, experts, entrepreneurs, and authors land large contracts and sell more services. So if you are a service based business, if you are a speaker looking to land more contracts, if you are an author looking to leverage your book in a way that will get you more money, more impact, and more influence, then listen up. This is for you. Okay. One of the things I wanted to talk about today, I was thinking about, thank you so much. I was thinking about what are the things that have held me back from growing at the pace that I wanted to grow. And there was one excuse that I used to make all the time that I still sometimes make that I'm trying to break the habit. And I'm going to share with you guys what it is. If you're ready for it, drop a one in the chat. If you're ready for it, drop a one in the chat. And shout out to all of y'all that already joined the Pitch Your Way to Cash Challenge. I cannot wait to rock with you next week. We are going to have so much fun and it is going to be incredible. And if you don't know what that is our challenge where we teach you how to pitch for large contracts and how to pitch for new clients. And you are going to want to be in the building. Go to pitchyourwaytocash.com and you can apply for your no cost seat. Okay, I'm seeing some ones in the chat. The one excuse that I used to make all the time that kept me from growing my revenue, from doing more with less, from reaching the goals I wanted to reach was this: I don't have time. I don't have time. If you've ever made the excuse, I don't have time, drop a two in the chat. And some of y'all are going to be resistant to this because you're going to be like, Ashley, it's not an excuse. I really don't have time. I have this to do. I got all these kids. I got all this husband. I got all these things to do. I got to take care of my family. I got to cook. I got to clean. If you've ever made the excuse, I don't have time, drop a two in the chat. And look, I've done it too. So we're going to be honest this morning. We're going to get into it this morning. Because what if I could prove to you, I should have stood up for this. What if I could prove to you that statement is hurting your revenue? Woo! What if I could prove it to you? If I could prove it to you, drop proof in the chat. If I could prove it to you this morning, drop proof in the chat. I'm getting riled up. About this because I'm telling you that literally our revenue stalled because I always said I don't have time. And it wasn't until, where the proof's at, drop the proof in the chat. It wasn't until I accepted that it wasn't that I didn't have time. It was that I didn't care enough about what I was being asked to do to make time. And this was tough. It's a tough pill to swallow. But for all of you on here who are experts, who are entrepreneurs, who are authors, who know you have big purpose in the world, who know you have a lot to do, who know you have a lot more impact in you, who know you have more to give, who know you have more money to make, who know you have more people to impact, who know you have more people to serve, who know you have more people to employ, who know you have more clients to help, who know you have more impact to make, you have to start making time. Not for everything, but for everything that gets you closer to your goal. Let me prove to you that we have the ability to make time. I'm prove to you. If you got a call today from Barack Obama, and Barack Obama said, hey, I need you to sit with me for a week. I need to teach you how to be a good leader. I need to show you how to do international business. I need to show you how to make great deals. I need to show you how to make cross-border deals. I need to teach you what I've learned as president of the United States because you have nations that you're going to lead to. How many of you would tell him, oh, I don't have time? If you would move heaven and earth to spend a week with our former president of the United States, literally, like, politics aside, if you would move heaven and earth to make it happen, I want you to drop a 3 in the chat. If you're like, I don't care what it would take, I would make some time for President Obama. Drop a 3 in the chat. Drop a 3 in the chat. Drop a 3 in the chat. Drop a 3 in the chat if you would make time for that opportunity. If you would make time for Obama or Oprah or whoever you hold in high esteem, drop a 3 in the chat. If you like, Drop a 3 in the chat. Now, if you're someone who'd be like, oh no, Obama, I know you're a big deal. Oh no, Oprah, I know you're very important, but I got kids, I got a husband, I got to cook this dinner tonight. I can't be spending my time with you. Drop a 4 in the chat. If you would pass on that opportunity, let me see if the 4s. I don't see no 4s. I see all 3s on Instagram. I see all 3s on Facebook. So what does that mean? It means that whenever we have an opportunity for something that we hold in high esteem, we make time for it. And so instead of saying, I don't have time, even to yourself or to your team or to anyone else, I would challenge you for the rest of this week to say, it doesn't matter enough for me to do it. And when I started rephrasing the excuse of I don't have time as the fact that it just isn't important enough for me to do it, then it felt a little too real for me. It felt a little too real for me. It felt wrong. It felt like I shouldn't be saying that because it was things like, oh, I would do this for my husband, but I don't have time. Now I don't have time. Can we be real? Any wives watching this? If you're a wife, drop wife in the chat. If you're a husband, drop husband in the chat. If you have a partner, drop partner in the chat. Let me talk to y'all. We love our spouses, right? We love the people that we're committed to. We love the people that we're married to. And what can happen is you start like taking them for granted when you get busy with other stuff. And so I found myself saying, I'm just being honest because I'm going to be transparent with y'all. One thing about me, my clients will tell you, I'm going to tell you the good and the bad. I tell them about launches that go great. I tell them about launches that don't go great. I tell them about business decisions we make that go great. I tell them about decisions that don't go great. I see some moms in the chat. I would start saying, oh, I would do that, but I don't have time. I would do that, but I don't have time. Then I started switching it from, I would spend more time with my husband, but it's just not important enough for me to make time. And that felt wrong. And because that felt wrong to me, because that felt icky to me, I started rephrasing that as like, I don't have time. So like, this is so important to me that I have to make time for it. This is so critical to me that I have to make time for it. I had to stop making the excuse, I don't have time, and I'll take it to business. There were people in my life, there were opportunities that came about, business opportunities, coaching programs, webinars, conferences, challenges, summits that I knew I needed to go to learn. And I would say, oh, I don't have time. I don't have time because, I'm busy and I'm running this business and blah, 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 blah. I don't have time for that. And what was happening in 2020, in 2021, I said no to almost every extracurricular opportunity. I said no to everything, y'all. I literally was like, nope, can't do it. Don't got time. Got to be focused. People was like, hey, can we partner? I was like, nope, can't do it. Got to be focused. Like literally. And 2021 was a better financial year than 2020 proper. So 2021 was better than 2020. But then in 2022, I made time for literally every business opportunity that came my way. Every business opportunity that came my way, I made time for it. And do you know what happened? What happened was in 2022, we grew our revenue 500% from 2021. So from 2021 to 2022, we had a 500% increase in revenue. Whew. Serious. And I made time for, like, if it was an opportunity to learn, I made time for it. If it was an opportunity for me to grow, I made time for it. If it was an opportunity for me to invest in my business, I made the money to do it. Like literally, I just stopped making excuses. Our theme in the Speak Your Way to Cash community, and all of y'all, welcome to the family, okay? Because if you're watching this right now, you're a part of the Speak Your Way to Cash family. Our theme in the Speak Your Way to Cash family is very simple, and this is our theme. You hear anybody else using it, credit us first. You know what I'm saying? We keep the energy high and we keep the excuses low. So if you come to any of our live events, and honestly, you need to be at all our live events, they're bananas. But like, you come to any of our live events, you're going to hear it. We got a theme song that literally says it. But if you have to keep your energy high and your excuses low. And when you decide to say no to something, I say the same thing, April, when you decide to say no to something, that's something that you say no to. It needs to be a deliberate no. No excuses about it. And you could be like, no, because I don't want to. Like, that is a thing. But when you have goals, when you have dreams, when you have ambition, you're going to need to start saying yes a little bit more. You're going to need to start like making sure people know where you stand on growing your business and on growing yourself, because it just takes time. Even with even with monetary investment. Sometimes it takes time and money to grow the way you need to grow. And there are some people who are like, hey, I'm in a season where I'm cool with good enough. I'm comfortable right here. For whatever reason, I'm pausing this year. But there are some of you who've already been pausing too long. You've been pausing the last 5 years. You've been taking a break the last 5 years. And, I have a client who's a self-care advocate. Shout out to Tamala. If you need help with self-care, I will give you her information. DM me, I'll connect you. But let me tell y'all something. Some of you need to pick it up a little bit. Pick up the pace. I know this isn't popular right now, because right now what's popular is everyone's like, let's just reflect, let's just reset, let's just calm down, let's just do this, let's just do that. But some of you need to pick up the pace. Some of you need to decide who you're going to be, and you have to stop making the excuse, I don't have time. Because here's the other thing. Here's the other reason why that excuse is so dangerous. Here's the reason why it was so dangerous to me. I was constantly saying, and I'm going to be honest, sometimes it still is a challenge. But I would say I don't have time. And every time I would say it, the Holy Spirit would place this on my heart. How do you not have time to run this business when this is small compared to where you're going? How do you not have the energy, the mental bandwidth, the resilience to manage this life when this life is small compared to the life I have planned for you? How do you not have time? If you don't have time for this life right here, then please know that this is your self-proclaimed ceiling. That got me, because I'm always praying like, God, give me the capacity to do more, to go further, to help more people, to manage well, to become a better leader, to do all these things. And even with my accountant, I meet with my accountant twice a month. They're like, you need to meet every week. You need to do this. You need to do that. And I was like, okay, well, all these meetings with these accountants, I don't got time for it. And they were like, okay, one of my accounting friends, shout out to Ephraim, pulled me to the side. He was like, can I show you something? I'm like, yeah. Pulls me to the side. He goes, you see that business? You see that CEO? You see that CEO? You see that CEO? Guess how much they meet with their accountants every week? Guess how much bigger their businesses are than yours, right? And it was like the people he pointed out, I believe, all have larger businesses than us. So I was like, oh, wow. Well, that's a key to like success leaves clues, right? So I'm over here like, I don't got time for this. And he's like, look, let me just humble you real quick. Her, and her all meet every week with their accountant, and they run larger companies. They have more employees. And he ain't tell it to me like this because he's such a nice guy. But this is how I interpreted it. But here's the thing. Can I tell y'all something else? Because I feel like, I don't know why I feel this way, but I feel like the people who are on this live, y'all can handle a little tough love. If you can handle a little tough love, drop a 100 in the chat. If you can handle a little, like, Ashley, give it to us straight. Because some people I can't talk to like this. I'm going to just talk to y'all like this because we got things to do, people to see, lives to change. One of the things that has to happen as you go on this journey of growth, as you go on this journey of entrepreneurship, as you go on this journey of hiring people, as you go on this journey of growing your influence, as you go on this journey, and share this live with 3 people and then drop done in the chat. If you've shared this with 3 people, drop done in the chat. As you go on this journey, people are going to tell you where you're messing up. And these are going to be, sometimes it's people who really do have your best interest at heart. But if you don't heed their advice, even when it hurts, you will lose out on the opportunity to grow. You'll lose out on the opportunity to get better, because guess what, guys? I have never gotten better from people telling me how amazing I am. I only got better. Like, when I think about the moments in my life that caused the most growth, it was when people pointed out to me areas in my life where I was underperforming, areas in my life where I could have done better, areas in my life where I could have grown, like I could have done better. I could have made more. I could have achieved more. I'm telling you. And it did not always feel good, because can we be real? We have egos. We're speakers. We're experts. We're entrepreneurs. We know what we're doing. We're this, we're that, we're that, whatever. But like, even when it didn't feel good, even when I wanted to resist it in my heart, I learned as a lawyer, when I was working in federal law, and I was in those courtrooms, and I was the only Black girl, and I was writing all these briefs and doing all this stuff. And I had a partner tell me, hey, this brief sucks. You need to write better. You need to pull briefs from other people. She actually ripped it up and told me it was BS, and like use the actual words. She ripped up my brief. Ashley, this is BS. You need to write better. Da, 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 da. I could have quit. I could have been like, oh, I quit. That's rude. You shouldn't have said it like that. I can't believe you talked to me like that. Who are you to talk to me like that? I didn't do that. I went and I found out, I looked at other people's briefs and I read them objectively and I realized, dang, she's right. This is worse than these other people. I need to step my game up. In law school, when I had a professor say, you write, you talk better than you write, I could have quit law school. I could have said, oh, you're being mean, you're being racist, because you know all these people who's white. I'm just saying, it's just the truth. I gotta be like, you're being mean, you're being racist, you're not treating me right. But I didn't do that. You know what I did? I went every single day of my first law school year and went to what they called the writing center. And I let people tear up my writing so that I could become a better writer because I cared more about being great than I cared about my ego. And to this day, the best thing law taught me was how to take harsh criticism, was how to take criticism from someone you don't even like and still apply it to your business so you can grow. I promise y'all, if you're a leader, you're going to have to stop with this sensitive, soft nonsense that says, unless they say it in a certain way, unless it comes from someone I like, unless they tell me in a way that comes with the love of the Lord, I'm not listening to them. That is very, very, very short-sighted. And all you're doing is hurting the people that you're called to lead. Because when you're like that, you are limited to only getting information from people that look like you, that talk like you, that make you feel good. And the best mentors I've ever had made me feel uncomfortable. Can I talk to the leaders real quick? It's some people that I know will not grow because they cannot take feedback from anybody else. Because they're so insecure about someone else having influence over them. It all has to be their own idea. The only reason one of the key reasons our company grew this year, there were a few, but one of the key ones was we were able to look at so many different things and so many different people and do so much volunteering and look at so many different businesses and take it to heart. And sometimes, y'all, there's people who I don't even think have my best interest at heart who will give me feedback that I will use immediately, because the truth is, I believe that God is so perfect that he will even allow an enemy of mine to give me a nugget that I can use to propel this thing. I'm not limited by anything or anyone. And it's such a powerful position to be in, because once you're not limited by other people, I mean, who wants to be limited by other people? That's whack. Like, what I look like only taking advice from you if I like you, if you look like me, if your hair is cute, if you like, that's dumb. Don't do that. That's dumb, right? Normally I'd say it softer, but y'all said I could be real, so whatever. That's not smart. Don't do that. Don't be like them people. I know those people though. The other thing I had to get over, I'm telling on myself, y'all, I had to work to not be so easily offended by every little thing. I got an email from someone and they were like, yeah, one day we met in the elevator like 5 years ago and you were at the elevator and actually I don't think you talked to me. And because you didn't talk to me, I just unfollowed you. And then I realized later that maybe you didn't see me. And it was just like this whole narrative. And I was like, girl, what's your name? I don't know you. I didn't even know the person. Like, there literally have been people who've come up to me and apologized. Hey, I'm so sorry. In high school, I think I was mean to you. I was a bully. God told me to apologize. I'm like, who are you? Who are you? I'm sure you're great, but I don't know you. I don't remember it like that. It's not something that I dwell on. I have a very short memory for pain and tragedy and nonsense, because I understand that, like, my mind, I think of my mind as a house. Your house is only a certain size. Even if it's a mansion, you can't fit. If you fit way too much stuff in a mansion, it's still not going to be adequate for you to live in, right? And so I think of my brain like that. It's a house. I think it's a pretty big size house, but whatever. It's a brain. It's a house. But if I am letting all these negative thoughts, all these negative people, all these negative experience take up consistent, permanent residency in my brain, nothing else can fit there. So while short-sighted people are caught up on temporary moments, I'm not going to, no, I'm not focused on that, because it doesn't serve my future. It does not serve my future. So just know, like, I know there are people who've made like humongous, like Tyler Perry level award winning stories about our interaction or about some pain they've had in their past, when in reality, what if it didn't really go that way? What if they gave you that feedback because they really wanted to help you? What if your coach was just trying to coach you? What if they weren't trying to offend you? And here's the truth, sometimes people are trying to offend you, but what if it was still a message in it for you to grow you? I just can't waste time on stuff, people, pains, and problems that really don't matter. Side note, because I work with a lot of therapists, I believe in therapy. I highly believe in therapy. So if you're someone who's like, okay, but I have a whole bunch of trauma and it's all this stuff, okay, great. You need to go to a therapist. Facebook is not a therapist. Instagram is not a therapist. Your business coach probably isn't a therapist unless they are. So, like, you do need to do whatever it takes for you to make sure you're processing well, because it's hard to see outside of our own perspective. But if you are a leader, please hear me on this. Being overly sensitive does nothing but blinds you to opportunities for growth, because I guarantee you, I have had enemies who have blessed me. Ooh, I just have. They may not have even known they blessed me, but even in them talking mess and nonsense and giving me like little bits of rude feedback, I still, because I'm open-minded enough to hear like, what if they had a point about that? Let me just check. Let me just make sure. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything, right? Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. It's still a blessing. It's still a blessing. We had people steal from us and do all types of things. And I remember when I go through things now, Mike. Yes. Ooh. I remember like when I go through things now, when something happens to me and I'm just like, Lord, where is this coming from? I'll just be like, okay, it must be a story. It must be something that somebody in my audience needs to see me go through. It must be a tragedy that's going to turn into a triumph. It must be that, because I don't leave. I don't like, I just want to use everything in my life for my purpose at this point. And so I would say to all of you, like, just consider whether you're making excuses that are holding you back from your next level. And excuses can come in so many forms, and this is why I wanted to share it. A big excuse is I don't have time. Another excuse is I don't have the money. Another excuse is I don't know how to do it. These are all excuses. They just are. And it is what it is. You can hold on to them, but I'm not fighting harder for my excuses than I am for my destiny. And if there's an obstacle that's in your way right now, best believe you have the power to move it. And one of the things that I hear a lot, because we talk about sales and we teach sales and we talk about pitching and we talk about prospecting and growing your business. And sometimes people will be like, ooh, that just sounds like a lot of work. And I'm like, so like, it is work, but it is a process. And once you learn a process, you can then delegate that process so that it's less work for you. And then you'll work on some other things. But please note, this is something that my uncle told me. He's been in sales for over 35 years, built a 7-figure company, multi-7-figure business. One thing that he told me that really changed my perspective was, he was like, Ashley, right now, you have the energy to do what you won't have the energy to do later in your life. This is your building season. This is when you need to learn all you can. This is when you need to run. This is when you need to figure it out. This is your time. Because believe it or not, as young and as vibrant and as healthy as you feel now, there might come a time where you don't have that same level of energy. And when that time comes, you want to be able to look back on this time period and say, I did everything I could to set my family up for success when I could. Every day, for every day I can, I do it for every day I can't. And so for those of you who are on here who are like, okay, I'm sold. I know I need to go further. I know I need to go faster. I know there's more for me. If you know there's more for you, drop more in the chat. Drop more in the chat. Let's see. If you're done making excuses, if you're done trying to rationalize mediocrity, just drop done in the chat. I'm so done with it. Like, I'm done. I'm not about to be keeping doing this. Okay. Done. If you're done with that, I want to invite you to attend the Pitch Your Way to Cash challenge. For those of you on Instagram, all you have to do is DM me the word challenge. DM me the word challenge. And what we'll do is next week, we're going to spend 5 days together. How many days? Drop how many days the challenge is in the chat. How many days are we going to spend together next week? How many days did I say? Drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. And I will ensure that you get a ticket to the Pitch Your Way to Cash challenge. It's a very simple application. One question. It'll take you less than a second. But I need to see you all there. This is for anyone who wants to sell more services. If you want to sell more services, then you need to DM me the word challenge to join the Pitch Your Way to Cash challenge. Or you can go to pitchyourwaytocash.com and we'll make sure that you get it. Now, here's what I recommend. Because there's some of you that are going to need more attention and you're like, I need to go VIP platinum. Like, I need to get a platinum ticket. I want to ask you questions during this challenge. I want this to be the genesis to my business exploding and setting up the foundation for next year. I want you to put some weight on your ticket. We have a free ticket. If you get the free ticket, you're not able to ask any questions. You can't watch the replays during the challenge. You can only join it live in the Facebook group. But if you get a platinum ticket, it's $297 for the platinum ticket, y'all. That's it. Less than $300. And we already talked about excuses. But if you get the platinum ticket, we will do a private Q&A before, and we'll go over the homework together. And every single day of the challenge, you will get homework that will help you get closer to pitching for larger deals in your business. We talk about finding your wealthy audience, how to pitch via LinkedIn, how to pitch via email, how to be consistent in pitching, how to overcome fear of rejection so you can price appropriately and move your business forward. This is the exact system we still use in our business. We're actually hiring for a sales assistant right now. They're going to go through the exact same challenge and learn exactly our pitch process from this as well. It is so good that we've done it over 7 times, this particular challenge. At this point, we have perfected our process for delivering this information in a way that helps you to get ultimate results. You're going to send out the pitches and overcome some of those fears that are in your head. So go to pitchyourwaytocash.com, get a platinum ticket. We don't have many platinum tickets left. We want you to get a platinum ticket. We cap platinum because they get to ask questions. And literally outside of my mastermind, you don't get to ask, like, I don't do Q&A calls or anything like that on our general summits and our challenges. But I'm telling you right now, if you are an expert who wants to sell more services, the Pitch Your Way to Cash challenge is the way to go. It is off the chain. I highly recommend you attend our 5-day Pitch Your Way to Cash challenge. The content's going to be fire. If you've ever been before, let them know in the chat how the content is. And I want y'all to let me know what is your one takeaway from this live. Share this live, comment on my page, let your friends know. We are live in the Speak Your Way to Cash family and the Speak Your Way to Cash Facebook group and the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast. I am so excited about your future, but I'm also excited about your now. Like, there are some of you that are going to be able to close deals before the end of 2022. Don't sleep on 2022. Okay. This can still be your year. Okay. So I'm excited about it. I know that y'all are excited as well. I cannot wait to see all the things that you all do. And I will see y'all next time.